Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading. This is your August bonus reading. We're just going to see what comes up for you for the rest of this month. Sorry, I'm just dropping cards. You have this fire ant card and you have this lizard card. So I feel like you have ants in your pants here, Cancer. This to me, the lizard kind of represents creativity and creating your own reality. And, I feel like this fire ant card is saying that something, and especially with this Ace of Swords, like Ace of Swords is pinpoint focus. It is something that is a very focused point. I always say that to me, the Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. That fire ant card is something coming to a head, like something boiling up inside of you. And I kind of feel there's this boiling energy, something wanting to be expressed here. Because again, that lizard card is about kind of creativity, creating your own reality. Things like that. And so you're trying to create something or have something in your life, and it's almost getting to the point where it's about to burst here, Cancer. And, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, of course. I think that could be a good thing. You have the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups, you, and the Nine of Pentacles. This, to me, would literally say, and by the way, the Nine of Swords popped out, so we're going to take it with these two together. But the Queen of Cups is about following your heart, and she is very focused on this cup that she's holding here. So the only thing she cares about is like what her heart tells her to do, or the direction her heart is telling her to go, and she moves in that direction. She doesn't really she doesn't go in other directions. She doesn't allow any distractions into her life, right? She stays laser like focused. And I feel that the Ace of Swords is talking about your truth, like what you see as to be true in the world. You literally have the sun here. The sun is kind of extreme happiness, but really I look at the sun as moving towards your happiness. I always say the sun is the best card in the tarot, but to me tarot isn't really like, oh, this is just good or this is just bad. It's to me tarot, it points out opportunities of energy that you should take advantage of, and the sun to me shines a light on something. It puts like a spotlight on a certain area of your life that needs to be paid attention to. And we can see a lot here that could either represent love, of course, but really what I feel like this is more your story. With the Six of Cups here, you have the spider spirit that says make your dreams real, and that spider spirit is kind of a card of the story you tell yourself about yourself, right? And it says you weave your own web. You are the creator of your own universe. So I feel like the more focused you can be at this time, the better with this energy. What do you need to focus on? Well, this right here, like I just said, you need to focus on your heart. You need to focus on things that make you happy, things that bring you joy and bring more joy to the people around you, or whatever you want to call it. You could be also focusing on love. Again, this doesn't have to be love as in a person. It could be something that you love. Could be like your dog, your cat. Could be it could be some sort of hobby that you have that you love. And, I really believe we're in a heart-based time. I keep saying that because we have all this energy in Taurus, I think the one thing we should be focusing on is bringing more happiness, joy, enlightenment, good things to the world, right? More heart-based things. And if you do that, you will be very successful. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Pre-Empress energy, of course, but also a card of focus. She has this falcon right here on her hand, and it represents the fact that she is training her focus. She is thinking about what to focus on. She also has 3 pentacles here, 6 pentacles over here. So she is focused on keeping enough for herself, the 6 pentacles, and she has 3 pentacles, which she can give to it, like she can invest into any situation that comes her way. So she never over gives into anything. And what I would say is, going this direction here, you could be like a little bit worried about your love cycles. Maybe you have a certain story in love. I do feel there could be new love coming in for you in the future. Again, I wouldn't rush into it with the retrograde. I always tell people, don't let astrology control your life. But, I think that it's perfectly acceptable to date during Venus retrograde. I know, gasp, right? Like, how dare I say that? But, I think it's perfectly fine to do it. To me, if you're meant to be with someone, you're going to be with them. It doesn't matter if, like I always say, it doesn't matter if Mercury's in retrograde, if your mom is in retrograde. I don't care what is in retrograde. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop something that is for you to be in your life, plain and simple. So what I would say here is that this could be love, but I also feel it's saying like, hey, take your time. Don't give all 9 pentacles to a person right away. Just give a little, let them give a little. Maybe this is something that starts out a little bit slow or that kind of develops over time, and that's perfectly fine. That is probably a good thing. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands here. This is this is actually like a 10,000% commitment right here. The Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful, it will be successful. So it's like when you believe something so deeply, deep down into your DNA, that there is no other way than for you to be successful, that's when you truly will find success. So it's like you're developing belief that something, you want to move towards the sun. We'll talk about this in a minute with the Queen of Wands. You want to move towards happiness is what the Queen of Wands tells me. And when you're committed to making it happen, that's when it will happen. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Magician here. I do feel like you're manifesting things very quickly into your life. Again, you have that spider. So, again, I would be careful of the words you use against yourself right now. We have the Lionsgate portal. Again, I never care about the Lionsgate portal thing and like all that other stuff. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? It's like not that big of a deal to me. But this year, I've seen repeating numbers like crazy. I've had crazy synchronicities happen and all this other stuff. So, it's like maybe, I would pay attention to your manifesting. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups, right? Yes, Eight of Cups. So I feel like you're walking away from things that no longer serve you. The Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy, so there is an element of kind of bossing up with the Nine of Pentacles, whatever you want to call it, and demanding better things from the universe. So I like it. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this card that says the fears of being blocked or having, it says imaginary blocks. It says, or having many obstacles to face are imaginary. It's time to think of the obstacles that you most fear or the stagnant aspects of your current situation and ask if they are real or imaginary. There you go. And then you have this card that says the end of a tough cycle is approaching. So Nine of Swords is a tough cycle. I mean, Nine of Swords is my card of, a repeat mistake or, never-ending nightmare or something like that. And I feel you could be ending it. You have the Sun, the Lovers, and the Eight of Swords. Here's your imaginary obstacle right here. Eight of Swords is being too close to a problem. So I always think, the solution to the Eight of Swords is that it's a card where it's self-imposed restriction. She's keeping herself stuck. It's an imaginary, whatever obstacle you think you have in your life is probably imaginary. I think the quickest way to overcome the Eight of Swords is to get another perspective, to learn from someone else. So if you have a problem in your life, learning from someone else, getting an outside perspective, or seeing things from someone else's point of view is always a good idea, because Eight of Swords really suggests you're too close to something. And if you're standing right up against a wall that's only as big as your face, then you're going to think that that wall extends forever, right? But if you get someone to help you to be like, hey, step over here, there's no wall, then you'll actually be able to overcome the problem. So, I always think people or just trying something new is a good idea here. You do have the Lovers here. I do feel that love is on your mind, or you could be thinking about love a little bit or having random thoughts about love. I don't see a person here. I do feel like there's a person coming in or something. I don't know. We'll clarify and get more details, but you do have that Six of Cups, which would suggest a soulmate could be coming in for you. I don't think it's a person from the past. I think it's a new person. But again, let's wait to get more details before I say that. But I do feel there could be love coming in. It's like behind the scenes. This right here is your higher self angel. I do feel like something is being divinely guided or divinely orchestrated. So if you are looking for love, I do feel that someone is coming in for you. I also feel for others, this is a choice that you have to make right here. The Lovers traditionally was a crossroads. You can either go this way, holding on to something from the past, being stuck in a cycle, or you can go this way where you choose to move towards your happiness, joy, and enlightenment and good things. And so I would go this direction right here. You have the Sun as well. The Sun does make the entire reading a little bit more positive, but the Sun is, again, something that you have to move towards. It is something that you have to not create, but with the Queen of Wands, she has that sunflower, and that sunflower points towards the sun. That's the whole point of sunflowers in the tarot. And so she uses that to guide her towards success, whatever type of success you want in your life. And, so I would follow your bliss, follow your happiness. Again, everybody's had a message like this, so definitely seems to be a sign of the times. With the Sun, you have the Hangman here. For some of you, could be a Pisces coming in for you, but for the most part, this is enlightenment. Both cards represent being enlightened. The Hangman has been on pause, and now he has gained enlightenment, so he can move forward. And I feel like you kind of are going to be moving forward here because you've gained some answers. With the Lovers, you have the King of Wands. Could be a fire sign as well coming in for you. But I also feel that this could be you. This could be a very bold, assertive energy. So, and you do have divine counterparts right here as well. So, this could be a very fiery connection. It could be like a water sign, a fire sign, an earth sign stands out to me here. Who knows? It could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. But if you're attracting love, I feel it could be like a very fiery, passionate, strong connection. And I do feel, and by the way, I feel if you're wondering, like, how am I going to meet this person? Then I feel like you will meet this person by doing something that you love. So, again, taking part in a hobby, following that sunflower, following your bliss. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles here. Yeah, definitely like a new person here. Going this way, it's like the Three of Wands even would suggest that this is someone new coming in for you. I almost feel like you're sensing this. The Three of Wands is a card of foresight. It's a card of seeing something happen before it has happened, right? Or kind of sensing that something is coming in for you. And I do feel that there could be a person coming in for you here. Next, you have this Shipwreck card. It says, find closure at the end of a phase or cycle. Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. You have this Pufferfish. It says, know your limits and your boundaries. Yeah, definitely a good time to put up certain boundaries as well, especially with the Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. You have the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. These two cards here, like Four of Pentacles, is holding on too tightly to the past. Nine of Swords is needing to let go of something, or needing to let go of a cycle. The Nine of Swords is a card that says you can be the bug or the windshield. There's a person right here hitting another person with a sword. And the Nine of Swords says you can be the person getting hit or the person doing the hitting. And so I don't suggest you hit people, but we're not talking literally here, but you want to be happening to life. You don't want life happening to you. And that's what I feel the Nine of Swords is saying in this situation. The Four of Pentacles could say you're holding on to a comfort zone. The only reason I say that is because you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is not really a comfort zone card, but he needs to expand. He needs to get comfortable with expansion. These ships are going out. They're going out from the harbor. And, it's funny, I know a lot of people read Three of Wands as your ships coming in, but again, the ships are pointing out of, into the ocean. So, really, the card itself can say that he needs to get on those ships so he can have an adventure, so he can expand, so he can learn from new experiences. And I feel that you kind of have a little bit, it's almost like you have a travel bug right now, but maybe it's not a travel bug, it's like an experiment or an experience bug. You want to go experience new flavors of the world or of your life. You want to go see more, do more. And I kind of get that energy here, like having this thirst for adventure. And I might have said, now that I say that, I'm having deja vu in your reading. So I might have said that to you recently, Cancer, like in your most recent reading, where I get this feeling of really this like adventurous spirit on the Queen of Wands. She really wants to go do something. She has to be courageous. She has to not care what people think. That's part of the Queen of Wands. Is she has to do things no matter what anyone says, what anyone thinks, it doesn't matter. And so I do feel that for you. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I just feel like you're embracing the Queen of Wands energy. And I just threw all the cards. The problem, people, with using cards that are like the size of postage stamps is that they are impossible to shuffle. So let's see what's going on here. With the Four of Pentacles and whatever the other card was, Nine of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. I would definitely be careful of a past person. Again, sometimes I think we get sucked up into past people, even though we know they did us dirty or whatever. We have history and maybe we feel attached to them and, blah, 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 right? So I feel like this is saying don't get sucked into someone's whirlpool. Don't get sucked into a trance. That's what I almost feel. I almost feel like some of you could have a past person where it's like they know how to hypnotize you, and suck you right in. And so I would be careful of that situation. With the Three of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is about seeing the future. Like I said, she is normally facing this direction of the reading on a traditional Queen of Swords. She's facing towards the future, and she finally sees things clearly. So I feel you finally see kind of like, it's almost like I feel like saying you see the opportunity, I feel like you could see maybe a person. You're like, wow, there's a lot of potential with this person. Or you see a job or a business opportunity that's coming in for you, and you see the potential that it has. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is separation or taking, could represent a breakup. So again, I would be careful of a past person, but it's a card of taking a risk. And so I do feel for some of you, this could be encouraging you to take a risk in your life, or to, this could be a risk of moving towards a person, going on a date with a person, meeting a person, that type of stuff here. For others, if you're not looking for love, and even if you are, I feel with the Queen of Wands, this is the risk of adventure, the risk of doing something you've never done before, the risk of changing who you are. Even in the area of the good stuff here, you have this groundhog spirit that says time to let go. And you have the spider spirit that says make your dreams real. So it's time for you to level up. Even in the Ted Andrews book, Animal Speaks, he talks about the groundhog, and he says that the groundhog is known for like death and rebirth because they have like multiple chambers in their burrow. So they always move from one to the other. And I almost get that feeling for you where the groundhog is more talking about death and rebirth for you. I feel it's talking about a new rebirth cycle in your life. The spider spirit saying make your dreams real. I feel it is time for you to, kind of make some sort of dream a reality, or to move towards something that you want, especially with the Queen of Wands. The other thing I would say is that I would, again, be very careful of the story that you tell yourself with that spider spirit. I would make sure you're using, positive words about yourself, positive ideas. Make sure you're feeding yourself positive things, all that stuff. I would definitely do that with the spider spirit. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is a card of resources. So we are definitely in a time of resourcefulness. I say this to basically everyone all the time, that we really need to make sure that we're being resourceful. We need to make sure that we're tapping into the resources that are at our disposal, like the different things we could do, or, different ideas, new ideas in the world, all that stuff, right? We need to kind of like look at everything as a resource, or look at everything as, being able to how can I use my skills to get the things that I want in life? And so I would make sure you're being resourceful. You have the Six of Cups, a turnaround. The Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. And the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is usually a turnaround, meaning that we've been bumping up against an obstacle, Eight of Swords in your reading. And when the Six of Cups shows up, we experience a turnaround, as in, things improve, or things get better, or, things change. You have the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff. So it's going to be good no matter what. I feel a lot of you are overcoming kind of lack mentality. And I just feel, I'm not even getting this in just one area of your life. I feel you're overcoming lack in a lot of different areas of your life. It's almost as if you're choosing to see things more abundantly. And because of that, you're becoming more successful. So that's all we have to do usually, is just focus on abundance and we'll get it, right? So let's see where this is going. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords here. You have the Queen and King of Swords. I do not usually like the King and Queen of Swords together in as far as divine counterparts are concerned, because usually they're not talking to each other, or there's some sort of cold energy going on. I kind of just feel this is a new person, and maybe you just haven't talked to them yet, or you haven't been with them yet, or whatever the case may be. So I do feel it could be a person. Whenever I have these swords cards as well, like King and Queen of Swords, I always think of together they really would represent like a really good mentor. So if you have any problems in your life, like getting help from a mentor, learning from an expert, to me they represent expert advice as well, like on the positive side of things. So definitely could represent getting expert advice if you need it. With the Six of Cups, you have the Empress. The Empress is a card of abundance. I do feel there's a ton of abundance coming in for you. In general, I feel there's a lot of success coming in here as well. So love it. Definitely a lot of fulfillment. And with the Five of Pentacles, you have the World. Yes, you're ending these negative cycles. You're, Nine of Swords. I feel like you're stepping into a brand new cycle. The World is the end of a cycle and starting a new one. So pretty simple. I feel like you're ending some sort of negative cycle in your life. Oh, and by the way, you have this card that says the end of a tough cycle approaches, right? So there you go. That is the reading. But let's see. We're going to do 5 main themes now. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, by the way. You have this Lost card. This is Saturn and Pisces. We have Saturn and Pisces right now. So some of you could be experiencing a loss. But remember what I said about that Four of Pentacles, letting go of something. And, I feel there's something that is dead, done, over with in your life maybe that just needs to be released. And so that you can have something new that's better, that takes its place. Could be love. Could be anything. You have this Achievement card. You have the Queen of Pentacles as well. Both. This is Capricorn. The Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, or someone with Capricorn in their chart. But, I do feel there are some achievements here, especially if you've been like trying to build something for a long time, or if you've been trying to, put something together like a business, or trying to grow your business, or trying to grow in career, wherever you're trying to grow is really what I'm getting there. Next, you have this Quarrel card. I would be careful of a past person. I feel if there's a past person coming in, they are just trying to fight. So I would avoid fights at all costs. I think it's a bad, retrogrades are always a bad time to get into arguments, get into fights, and all that other stuff. Next, you have this generosity card. I kind of feel like this is what you're looking for. I do feel there could be a very generous person coming in for you. Like if you're looking for love, I feel a very generous, like sweet connection coming in here. Very abundant as well. I keep getting the word abundant, so I would really focus. I know it's obvious, but I would be focusing on abundance. You have this adaptability card. Every single time I use these cards, everybody gets adaptability, versatility. I don't know, there's like 10 others that basically represent the same thing. We had that eclipse last year. Well, the Scorpio Taurus set of eclipses was really about teaching people how to be flexible. Eight of Swords in your reading. It's like, don't just, if something isn't working, it's just the way you're doing it just isn't working. It's not that it's not going to work for you. So again, it's not black. We're not living in like a black and white time. Even though every single issue that exists seems to be one side or the other, right? But the point is that there's probably a million solutions to whatever you're dealing with. And if something isn't working, you just haven't figured it out yet. And I really feel you need to realize that in this reading, that there are other ways. And again, imaginary blocks. Being adaptable will help you overcome these blocks. Pretty good reading. I just think that, it's the end of a tough cycle is approaching, as that card says, and you're changing your story. So it looks pretty good, but thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.